Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2, and this is my Let's Play. I guess we just came through the holiday weekend here in the United States for Thanksgiving, in game anyway, and in real life. But that's all right. We have a few things on the schedule this week. We've got 4 gigs, maybe 5 total. I can't quite remember, but mostly in Wisconsin, if I recall. Wisconsin, and then Illinois. Yeah, okay. So 4 total, and then 1 in Kansas next week. And then we have a tour out on the West Coast after that for the rest of the year. So what we're going to want to do is maximize our points in that here. What I mean by that is it's a triple point day, and I think there's another song or 2 I want to record. But I also want to write a couple of songs for that West Coast swing and see if we can maybe find something that works really well out there. For now, though, we're just going to do the typical triple point day stuff. We'll start by having these guys do some repairs. And yeah, if you recall, the last time we did this, nothing hit. No, I think actually Xavier, who has like a 20, he got 1 number under 20, if I recall. And that was it. So we're tearing the heck out of these things and not getting any reward for it. Here, Topher has a chance. Nope. So here, hopefully Xavier can maybe restore some of this stuff for us. There's a hit. All right. Hey, it went up 29. So we'll take that. That's pretty good. Let's keep going. Another one. Went all the way up to 70. And let's maybe work on the djembe then. Nope. Close though. All right. So, well, that was about what I expected, honestly. Maybe a little better because we have not been getting any hits at all there. Now it's time to go outside, and I do not recall. Yeah, we haven't mowed the lawn here in a very, very long time. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We don't get any points for it. It's literally just some cash. But then if we get the opportunity to busk again, also wouldn't hurt my feelings to maybe earn one of those awards, where you've mowed 100 lawns in a single playthrough. I haven't done that apparently yet. In my years of playing this game, I've never done that. So there you have it. And then we want to go to the new Pinnell Studios, which I'm going to have to whip around here. And here we go. Be coming up on the right. There they are. And we're going to see about recording a song. Really, we're just kind of doing it for the points. There is a secondary drive for doing that, and that is we want to try to get one of these Kiwi songs recorded up to 100% and with a high skill quality. But that doesn't look like that's happening here. We're at max play skill. We still have some room to go. So I think we'll hold off on that in the hopes that maybe Xavier gets a couple more play points before the end of the year. So first, let's go look at our song list. Why don't we do something that's popular and not recorded? That looks like Broken Photographs. Well, it's recorded. It's not on an album, so that's different. The first one is Overthinking Things. That is our most popular song that isn't recorded right now. Okay, well, we can go with that. We'll, let's do it. So, coming back out here, today we just want to record. And that's Overthinking Things. And if I recall, we don't have to go all the way to 24 hours or 23 hours. We can do it in 17. There we go. We'll record this. Get some points. I should have looked and seen what their experience levels were to see how well that helped him out. So we know it did no more than a quarter of his points, but that's okay. That's okay. So we're going to go ahead. I should have done some of the merging too, but that's okay. Let's continue to prepare for the weekend, or I guess you could call it a long weekend, Thursday through Sunday. Here we go. Or I guess it's Wednesday through Saturday, isn't it? My apologies. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday through Saturday. So in the practice realm, we do have a lot of songs that are starting to atrophy, so we'll definitely hit those today. And in the meantime, we will do some merging. and see what feels like it's clicking. I don't really recall where we were with merging last time, but this looks like it's working well for us. Up to a 35 for him. Awesome. Don't have a whole lot of those for people other than Kiwi in the musical parts, and then lyrics. Of course, we have Angel tearing it up there. We'll go ahead and maybe take a peek at some of those. You can only do 10s right now. And I feel like we should do trust, and now we're down to just the lowly ones. Anybody? Here's some down here with Kiwi, and they're all digital. So there we go. That is done. Now we're going to go practice, and we are going to practice everything. Refresh the hundreds and get all these 99s back up to 100. Then we can play anything we want. Love it when that happens. And we're practicing. We have a gig in Green Bay and we have to start driving now. I'm glad I didn't wait a day to do that practice. Yeah, okay. Saul Goodman is doing okay. He's pretty happy there, that looks like. So, can we just click map? We can. Go to Green Bay. There we go, and we're in Green Bay. The magic of video games. All right. So Green Bay looks a lot like Topeka, at least in this game. Whoa, that was, you see, I start looking at the map down in the lower corner there, and then I lose all sense of where I am. And well, we'll come back to that another time. Here we go. We're going to play a full set in Wisconsin where they hate homegrown songs. All right. Well, that works. And then what do they love? Conformity and technical musicianship and conformity. So let's see if we can get those conformity songs on there. And do we have a lower end yellow? We do. We'll take that yellow off and we'll put in this one. And we'll take this one off and put in this one. It's also one of our more popular songs, so that's probably a good decision. Drained Batteries. Well, I don't think that one's gotten a lot of playtime, right? That's a relatively new song. I wouldn't mind going ahead and keeping that one on there. So maybe we don't uber load in conformity. We just kind of go with what we have here. And let's move Drained Batteries up here to get a good read on it. And these songs have been around a while. Overthinking Things and Freedom Learns. We'll close with Freedom Learns. Yeah, that looks like a good lineup. Here we go. 3,000 potential folks. I bet we get about 1,200 though. 1,100, darn it. Okay, well, Overclocked did pretty well. Man, we're tearing it up, actually. We're going to hit 100 before we get to speed. Okay, not quite. Oh, darn it. I hate when this happens. Let's take out over... Oh, I hit the wrong one. That's going to hurt. Well, maybe not. We might be okay. Yeah, we're going to be okay. Yeah, I meant to hit Overthinking Things. And the reason I didn't hit it is my good eye, when I'm looking at this list, is behind the boom for my mic. So I didn't quite see it right, and I misclicked. Anyway, I'll be a little more careful there in the future. Let's see what happened here. So, decent gig pay. We will see bigger payouts than that in the future. We'll eventually want to buy a jet. 461 shirts sold. That is a really good sign. That is a really good sign for us. And then pretty much what we kind of expected on the songs. Actually, only 5 of them got any love. That maybe is a little lower than I thought. So let's see what they thought. Well, that's good. They loved the songs. The battery mic, yeah, you know what? I've seen that happen, actually. That really, don't love it when that happens. Okay, well, there you have it. That wasn't the worst of outcomes. I think we'll hang on to that set list. And I don't think you can save the set list from here. You have to save it in the other screen. Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to the next location, which is going to be Milwaukee. How did they say that in Wayne's World? Milwaukee, something like that. Anyway, I think I shared the story that I've had exactly one car stolen, and that happened in Milwaukee. Yes. Truth. Anyway, here we go. April 1st, 1995. That's when we reported it. I do know that one by heart. So, actually, I'm sorry, 96. It was 96. All right, here we go. Very specific reasons I remember that date. And it had nothing to do with the car. So let's see if there is any. There won't be any change here. So we're gonna go with the same lineup, and let's see if anything changes. I guess what we could do is swap out, let's swap out Overthinking Things and put in Take My Hand. Take My Hand totally makes me think of Hootie and the Blowfish, which is one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I know I probably say that about most of the concerts I go to. I like them for different reasons, but that one was fantastic. And let's see. Loyalty's Last Stand. We took that one off to go with things that they were a little more interested in. But these all do pretty well, so I'm okay with that. And I want to keep Broken Photographs in. What's the other blue one? Low Fidelity. Let's pop that one out. And let's toss in The Order of Things. Yeah, let's do that. And we're going to shove that one up to the middle lanes there. And we're going to go with that. We have opening bands with us tonight. Venue of 3,800. With the opening bands, I'm gonna say we cracked 1,200 today. Maybe even 14. Let's see what happens. 1,600, I'm happy with that. So far, we're managing the audience energy level well, and we've got great interest already to 100. Before we get to our best song there, Broken Photographs, that's the one I'm calling our best. And there we have it. Okay, how about some love for those? Broken Photographs, 6. That's good. How many shirts? Where are the shirts? 107. A lot less than last night. Slow night at the merchandise counter. All right, well, that happens. Ebbs and flows, right? Ebbs and flows. All right, Prom Queen, they loved it, but it only got 4. So this is interesting because sometimes you'll get an enjoyed with 5. Here we got a loved with 4. It's probably because, again, we only play it at 85% playability. And so they probably noticed that. There we go. But it's doing okay. I'm going to keep that one. I think initially I thought it was going to be one that was never going to get above 3. Part of that had to do with our playability for it, and that has improved. So,
it's the weird part of the night.
There we go. It is indeed the weird part of the night, and we're going to Peoria. Shout out to my friend Andy. Works the newspaper there, or at least did. I'm not quite sure what the status of that is anymore, unfortunately. I know he's still writing. I'm not quite sure for whom. Whom. I'm pretty sure that's a whom. Who knows? In 500 years, it won't matter. All right, so we're going to hit play your gig. We have openers again, 3,000. Oh, I don't know. We're a little more popular in Illinois, but we haven't been to Peoria a whole lot. I'm going to go with, let's go ahead and hope we hit at least 1,600 again. And then we do need to check for Changing Attitudes. They still hate homegrown. Okay, they're not into The Order of Things. They do like Overthinking Things. Kind of funny. And Drain Battery's got a couple of hits. Baud Rate is not doing its share of the lifting, is it? We're going to get rid of Baud Rate, put in Overthinking Things. There we go. That was really good. I talk lots. Here we go. We're going to move this up to here. We'll move Take My Hand up to the top. I do want to pay closer attention to what Drained Batteries gets as far as how much it changes the interest of the crowd. So we'll want to pay attention to that. And otherwise, here we go. $1,300. Okay, fell off a little bit, but I bet we sell more than 104 shirts. I'm hoping for that. Order of Things did pretty well. Speed Demon put us to the top. Not quite. Got there with Overthinking Things. Okay, pretty healthy outcome, I think. Here we go. about what we expect there. Lots of songs getting love. Pretty much all the songs getting love. And 186 shirts. Well, honestly, didn't do as great as I had hoped, but it was pretty good. And 44 copies of our album. Good. Let's look at this part. Prom Queen still Order in Chaos. Yeah, we knew that one I think was the one I was like, they're not loving that, but it's okay. So let's see. Drained Batteries was a 16% hit, which is better than Overclocked at 15, although there is a chance this is a fraction. So let's call those the same. This one, Take My Hand, they only like 13%. 15 from 20, 28 from, never mind. The difference there is 13. The difference here is 14. So Authority's Figure, but being a medium song, mid-energy song, that isn't unusual for it to be a little less than your Reds. You'll notice here the Order of Things goes up a good solid 14, and we don't know what Broken Photographs did, but I bet it would have been above that. Okay, Speed Demon 15, Prom Queen 12. Yeah, and Prom Queen only got 4 faces, but it is a loved song. So I think this one will, again, continue to improve as we get better at playing it, which is going to take some leveling on Xavier's behalf. And, we did change months. Did anything here change? Homegrown is still not a national plus. It's still a minus. So, okay. Doubt, but Faith is in. Doubt is out. Okay, that's in Illinois. I'm curious what Missouri's going to look like. Let me roll over it. Homegrown is still in Missouri, so that hasn't changed. Let's take a look at our next gig on Saturday night in Springfield. And we're going to be at the Lincoln Theater here in Springfield. Outstanding. Okay, because I commented on it once already, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to mow lawns when I have the opportunity. I want that achievement. God, I hate achievements, but anyway. All right. Yeah. Here we go. I don't hate achievements, but when they first came out, it felt a little corny. It definitely aimed at the generation after me, that's for sure. But anyway, I guess you learn to love things, right? There we go. Here we are in Illinois with a good set to play. Let's drop Prom Queen. And let's put in, I know it's not a better song, but let's put in Baud Rate. We can take a look and see what it does for us. We know Take My Hand isn't awesome. Let's move Baud Rate up into that first opening set. And let's see how good Broken Photographs really is. The other one was about a 14, if I recall. I bet Broken Photographs does better. Now, it's hard to say. We're at a different location. We are in the same state, though. We do have the same attitude, so same size. That's all good. We don't have openers. I'm going to guess we're only going to get about 1,200 folks again. Oh, wow. I misjudged that tremendously. Well, that means our percentages will be higher because the smaller crowd, they tend to like the music better. Easier to impress them, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I can understand it's hard to charge up a baseball stadium full of people. That some acts just simply can't do that. It makes some sense to me. All right. Yeah, about what we expected. Didn't sell a whole lot of copies. We did sell a lot of shirts. That's great. The crowd must have gotten paid today. Yeah, I wonder if that's like a Saturday thing. I should start paying attention to that. Or maybe an every other Saturday thing. All right, we wanted to see Drain Batteries. So see here, Drain Batteries did 19 points, where it only did 14 or 15 the day before, right? Baud Rate, though, it only went 16, so it was lower, 18, then 16. This is how I tend to decide which songs are more popular or going to perform better than others. And it's not always, I don't know that there's any actual science behind why I do that, but that's my mentality. Notice here, Broken Photographs, 24 points. That is a big jump. That's a song they really, really, really like. So drained batteries was 19, and we can't tell after it gets to 100. So everything else is kind of moot from that perspective, but we have completed our mini run. We're going to run back to St. Louis and be ready to do some practicing and maybe write a new song or two for our West Coast swing. Ozzy was born on this date in 1948. Outstanding. May he rest in peace. Ozzy was a blues fan. And some of you might know that story, some of you might not. But actually, when the Blues won the 2019 Stanley Cup, Ozzy was all about it. He was sporting his St. Louis Blues jersey. Give me a comment if you know the origins of his liking the St. Louis Blues. You don't have to tell the whole story, but just I know what that's about. That'd be awesome. Leave me a little comment on that. Yeah. New beginning, it went up some. That's because we went and sold some copies. Personally, I would bet, but nonetheless, here we go. And we're just going to jump on in home. We will remember that it is a triple point day for tomorrow, and we're going to call this one a successful week. We bumped our band cash. We bumped our popularity. We got a song recorded. All good things. So thank you for joining me. This is Rising Star 2 from Gilly Games. Absolutely love this game. This is like the one I start when I do my recordings because it's just easy. And I love doing it. It's just, there's no drama with it for me. So there you have it. Again, thank you for joining me. I hope you'll stick around for the next one. And until then, fair travels.